ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಮತವನ್ನು ಯಾಚಿಸಲು ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಅತಿ ಅಮೂಲ್ಯವಾದ ಮತವನ್ನು.
This was supposed to be a sit-down conversation over a cup of coffee with Tejasvi Surya, but now it's become an on-the-go in the Govindarajnagar constituency in this entire region. What we're seeing right now, Tejasvi, can you take our viewers through what this
Yes. The reason why I wanted to take you around and not do a sit-in was because I wanted to show you the kind of work in person. Because, you know, what is seen is what is to be believed. This is a 305-bedded hospital that our minister here, Somanna sir, went to great extents to build. This is just one. There's another 100+ seater, 210 Puneet Rajkumar Hospital in this constituency. There's a 65-bed free dialysis center that we have made here. More than 20,000 free dialysis patients have been served over the last 1 year here.
Has the housing minister focused only on his constituency or all across Karnataka?
All across Karnataka, just there's a housing revolution. Somanna sir is called as the revolutionary when it comes to housing, because this is the kind of big infrastructure creation that he has done. I will show you the multi-story housing complexes that are constructed here. More than 18,000 people have been allotted houses here.
Is this limited only to this constituency, Rakshit?
So basically, I feel that this is quite a big one, which can handle not only the constituency but also the outsiders, because it's completely telemedicine equipped.
Wow.
It also has a hub where it can take in a lot of patients from across the state also. And the best thing is, Somanna sir was very clear that he wanted to have a high-tech hospital. So what he meant by high-tech is technologically high-tech. I think this is the first hospital across the country with complete real-time monitoring of every patient inside the ward or the ICU. If you see most of the dialysis center, it's 600 or 650 rupees for just dialysis. So every time the patient comes and goes, they're not sure. But the INU and BPMP together have a foot ahead, where you can see that the quality of dialysis is given. So patients, if you go, exactly. So what you can see is when his outcome, every patient is improving in weight, outcome, reduction in dialysis. I think that's the key thing that Somanna sir always targeted.
But is this corporation work or is this Vidhana Saudha work?
No. See, this was executed by the MLA. The BBMP and the state government work together to execute these things, because the BBMP was also under the BJP.
So should that translate in corporation elections, or you think you'll reap the benefits
It's
even
a triple engine government?
Let's now see the housing. Let's check that out. We'll test that theory also then. So where are we, Tejasvi, now?
So we are in Dasarahalli of Govindarajnagar again. So all of these houses that you see, I was mentioning of the thousands of houses that have been built under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana scheme by our housing minister Somanna. These are all the houses that you are seeing. And this is called the Gulbarga colony. And I'm sure there will be many Tamil speakers also here, and you can speak to them. Talk to her.
Okay, I'll talk to her. Namaskara. Well, the ladies are very happy. They've got their houses. They say it's not just houses. It's got electricity, water, all the facilities also. But they've also put the pressure, Tejasvi Surya. They're saying that the next candidate, the incumbent, has to do better. He has to do the better than what Somanna has done. Come down.
85 houses have already been constructed and handed over. 60 are under construction. You will see this in every constituency in Bengaluru. Every constituency. So, this is the strength on which the BJP will come to power this time, because we have delivered. We have positively transformed lives of people. So the Prime Minister's schemes has literally lifted thousands of families out of poverty and given them a more dignified living and existence. So this is the primary health center called Namma Clinic. So in every ward in Bengaluru, all 198 wards, you will find number clinics of this infrastructure level.
So is it inspired by the Mohalla clinics in Delhi?
Well, you should go have a look at the Mohalla clinic and then make a comparison study of how this is, doing. Because, Mohalla clinic and the Aam Aadmi party is all noise and zero substance. Whereas, unfortunately, we have not gotten the kind of publicity and fair treatment by the media. So here is
taking the returns I would pay.
108, the ambulance facilities. So, if there was no code of conduct in place, I would have myself accompanied you to go inside and, shown you around. But you should definitely have a, look at how this is functioning.
So you're saying that all of this has been now recently developed?
It's in the last 3 years.
Last 3 years.
3 years.
Well, Tejasvi wanted us to do a check of the Nama clinic. Let's quickly go and check inside in this constituency, this Nama clinic that looks brand new. Well, very clean, quite a big area. Since when is this clinic open?
Since February 8th, sir.
Since February 8th. And what all do you have inside this clinic in terms of facilities?
Like lab and medicines and ANC checkups. That's it, sir.
ANC checkups. And it's there only, this is the clinic?
Only
or
this much, sir.
This much area.
Yes.
And do you have a steady inflow of people and you've been able to treat people?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Has it made any difference to the
Public?
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They usually come there again. They come for the follow-up. We treat them. If we can't, if there is no facility here for them, we will refer to higher center.
Higher sector. And from what time to what time is it open? How many days?
9 to 4:30
And every day, all days of the week?
every day.
Let's catch Tejasvi back on the campaign trail. So we are in Govindraj Nagar, Pattegarpalya area, and I have the MLA candidate Umesh Shetty, but more importantly, I have the person who's campaigning for all the MLAs in this region. He's the MP from here, Tejasvi Surya. Tejasvi, what's special about this place? I've lived in Bangalore, and I've always enjoyed the bhaji and tea in these stalls. So what's special about this place?
Two things. One, Kaveripura is one of the oldest parts of Govindraj Nagar. And here you get our very traditional mudde uta, the ragi balls, mudde uta. So, and the other thing that makes this place special is that this small eatery is owned by one of our karyakartas, Rudresh.
Oh, lovely.
So, his coffee and mudde uta and his bhaji bondas are world famous in Govindraj Nagar.
Govindraj Nagar, world famous in Govindraj Nagar. So that's Rudresh.
And also, you will put it. Akriti. Srishti is very famous Instagrammer here.
Oh, so you like to make reels, Insta reels. Listen, you'll teach me how to make Insta reels. Because he is very good, you are very good, I am very bad at these reels. So I need to learn from you. Will you teach me? Yeah. Okay, so what's very good at your stall, Srishti?
I'm very good at painting.
You are very good. What's very good at your food? What should we eat?
Idli.
Idli. Right now, will you give me one of the bhajis?
Yeah.
Huh? Huh? You will? Who makes it better? Your grandmother or your dad? Dad? Dad makes it better? Enough. Just keep four. So I'm going to taste and I'm going to ask Tejasvi and Umesh ji also to taste. Umesh ji, chance acha lag raha hai this time? Is it
100%.
Huh?
100%.
Better than last time?
100%.
Better than last time. 100%.
अच्छा काम किया सोमनाथ जी
हाँ,
तेजस्वी जी है
हाँ.
अभी हमारा पार्टी में बहुत इधर काम हो गया ऐसे तो 100% हम लोग ये बार बहुत बड़ा लीड में जीत सकता है
फूड बहुत अच्छा है.
Very tasty, no?
हाँ, वो मेरा ऐसे मुंह में डालते हैं ऐसा वाव हो गया.
बहुत एक्सक्लूसिव है फूड इधर ये कीर्ति होटल इसका फादर नेम कीर्ति प्रदेश
So
का
20-25 years से आप ये कर रहे हैं. 22 years से. Rudresh recognizes me from my sporting days. Imagine I'm doing news now and he's recognizing me from my sports days when I was.
Amazing.
But how has it been for you?
Very good. There's a lot of positivity, there's a lot of enthusiasm among both the voters and our karyakartas. Especially this time, what I'm seeing in Bengaluru is that people have recognize the great amount of work, especially in infrastructure, public infrastructure in Bengaluru that has happened over the last 3.5, 4 years. More than 1 crore beneficiaries are there only in Bengaluru of Prime Minister's schemes. Whether it is our street vendors through the Swamitwa, whether Ayushman Bharat, through the Har Ghar Jal, through the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban, the Janaushadhi Kendras, so Nirbhaya CCTV scheme, more than a crore beneficiaries, directly or indirectly from one of these schemes of the Prime Minister, they are in Bengaluru. So I see that compared to the last elections, we will be gaining a few seats in Bengaluru this time. And out of the 28 seats that goes to poll in Bengaluru, we may not be surprised if we touch 20 and even cross 20.
That's a lot of confidence, especially when the Congress has announced a lot of SOPs. Is that not going to get traction? There's 200 units, Bijli free, 2,000 rupees, and now Siddaramaiah is saying 75% reservation. Is that not going to cut ice with Bangalore?
Anand, you're a very senior political journalist who has covered politics across the country. And you realize that in politics, whether it is somebody who is making an allegation against another person or making some kind of a promise, the credibility of the people or the party making this kind of a promise counts a lot. Today, the credibility of the Congress party is zero. Therefore, both the allegations they make on the BJP or the promises they are giving to people, both are gaining zero traction among the public here.
There are a lot of people who are very upset with the BJP. And a lot of what's not been done in the municipality or at the MCD level is translating into at Vidhana Sabha level. And the Congress is very confident of the poll numbers, pre-poll analysts say not just Karnataka, even Bengaluru they'll do very, very well.
Anand, I say this with a lot of responsibility that no party and no Prime Minister in the past has contributed to the growth of Bengaluru as much as our party and Narendra Modi as Prime Minister has done. Let me give you a few examples. The Bengaluru Suburban Rail Project is a 40-year-old proposal. It's 8 years older than me. And it was proposed when the rail connectivity was planned for the suburbs of Bengaluru, which in the last 30 years have now become the urban pockets of Bengaluru. It has grown to become the urban pockets. The last year Prime Minister came and he promised to people of Bengaluru that what has not happened in 40 years, I will get it completed in 40 months. Work is now happening on the suburban rail front in a fast pace. The metro connectivity in Bengaluru, because traffic is a big issue in the growing city, was only 7 kilometers in 2014. Today it has touched 70 kilometers. By end of next year it will touch 100 kilometers, and from any point of Bengaluru you will be able to reach airport in a flat 35 minutes. The satellite township ring road project, which was again pending from a very long time at a cost of 17,000 crores. Now almost 40-50% of the work is complete. Again, it's the double engine government which has got this done. The Bengaluru International Airport Terminal. Correct. 2019 the Prime Minister came, started the groundbreaking ceremony and started the work. Despite 2 years of COVID, 2022 the airport terminal is thrown open for public use. BMTC buses, which is the mainstay, you spoke about municipal issues. The last 5-6 years, you will be surprised to know that BMTC fleet size was near stagnant at around 6,500 buses. In the last 2-3 years, under the FAME scheme, 1,500 additional electric buses have augmented the capacity, the fleet capacity of BMTC.
And I'm very candidly asking, do they actually remember, or do they remember the fact that, there was a change in leadership? There is confusion within the BJP, who's calling the shots in the state? Has Mr. Basavaraj Bommai been able to convince the people that he's not a 40% chief minister, as has been alleged? There are other issues, and Bengaluru, the biggest issue is Bengaluru doesn't come out to vote. The biggest issue the last time also, where you stopped at 104 and did not cross 113, was because Bengaluru did not come out on vote because voting was on a weekend. So this time around,
so briefly,
all these issues...
Yes, so briefly to address all of this, Anand, it's only in the BJP that you find a culture where senior leaders, senior political, veteran political leaders voluntarily make space for the next generation of leadership. This is intrinsic to our party's culture because we are a cadre-based party, and it's from amongst the cadre that next generation leaders are groomed.
Jagdish Shettar, Lakshman Savdi, all of them going.
In all of these seats that you mentioned, Anand, the cadre is very strong. You have seen the BJP from close. We are a cadre-based party. We are not a leader-based party. As long as the cadre is strong, the party is safe. And in all of these seats that you mentioned, the cadre is charged up and inspired. And you will see that the BJP will win all of these seats with a thumping majority.
Well, such was the promise that it will be a sit-down interview, but campaign trails are such that we've got stuck and we decided let's just hang by a Baitu cafe with and continue the conversation with Tejasvi Surya. Tejasvi, this Baitu, where we're going to sit and drink, you were just telling me you're sitting in a rival constituency.
Yes, so this is Vijaynagar, and we have not won this constituency the last 2 times, but we are very confident of a victory this time. The last time we lost the seat with a wafer-thin margin, just 2,000 votes. So we are very confident that this time we will be winning this constituency.
Now, will that be the story of Bengaluru urban or overall because of the 28 seats you're saying 20 seats? Tell me something. I've seen that you are busy campaigning on the ground. What is all this headline about Tejasvi is not a star campaign?
I'm not a star, Anand. I'm a very normal karyakarta of the party. Whether we are
But you're
in
not
many...
there on the star campaign list.
No, so-
There's huge headlines about it. You're being sidelined. The party is telling you to just, sit at one corner of South Bengaluru.
Well, sometimes it amuses me that media takes so much interest in stories of this nature, because this is not a story that has caught any interest here locally in either the constituency or anywhere in Karnataka. I in fact asked a fellow, a friend, a journalist friend, as to why, the article said that, none of the young leaders in Karnataka figure in the campaign list. But then again they say that Tejasvi Surya's name is not on the list.
Tejasvi Surya is also BJP.
No, correct. So, but in Karnataka, a lot of senior leaders had to be accommodated. There are various reasons. So then I asked him only why my name was put on the headline. So he said, the clicks on the article will be more. So I said, if it is helping your news, then by all means, wish you luck.
So they're using your name as clickbait.
Whatever. If it is helping them, it is helping them. But as far as I am concerned, we are all very simple karyakartas of the party, hard-working karyakartas of the party. Whatever work the party assigns, that we keep doing.
Oh, so the coffee also comes. So as the coffee comes, this is the famous Baitu coffee.
Yes.
So, well, this is now getting in that cutting chai. It's
Yes.
now Baitu coffee. So it's the same chai wala glass. I don't want to leave Bengaluru because of this. I can drink Baitu and Baitu of coffees. That's what that's what I can do. Tejasvi, I'll be honest with you. My first sip of coffee today, and when I come to Bengaluru, I drop the tea. It's only coffee. But how much of the caste dynamics comes into play? Is it still a dominant thing? Because you mentioned something about Labhartis. Now, Labhartis cut across segments there because the economically weaker section, they cut across castes, cut across communities. Will they rise above their caste considerations? Because you have this Vokaliga, Kuruba, Lingayat, so many other groupings.
Anand, caste is a factor in India's politics today, and it is something that all political parties take into consideration. And representation of all castes is also something which is very important in a democracy, because shared political power, shared voices at the citadel of power is also a very important hallmark of an inclusive governance. The BJP, insofar as the distribution of tickets is concerned, insofar as giving representation to the marginalized sections is concerned, the BJP has done a very thorough job of making sure that almost every section is represented. Despite in some constituencies, even if a dominant caste belongs to a particular a caste, a different caste is given an opportunity, because in the overall district matrix, a balance of all communities has to be made sure. So ensuring that there is an inclusive representation and there is diverse representation of everybody. The ticket distribution has been done very fairly, and I'm very confident that this will reflect again positively in the electoral
See, three
outcomes.
things that you think will work for the BJP and three things where you think the BJP will be challenged.
The
Where-
three things that will work is this. First, people of Karnataka have seen in the last 3.5 years the positive outcome and positive governance of the double engine government. In the last 5 years, when the country had Narendra Modi ji as Prime Minister and Siddaramaiah was here as the Chief Minister, people here saw that most of the development which the Prime Minister intended to give to Karnataka did not come in the measure and speed and scale in which it was intended to come. In the last 3.5 years, 4 years, especially even during the COVID pandemic, we have seen how lot of legacy issues, whether it is irrigation in the case of say Mahadai and Upper Bhadra, whether it is in the case of infrastructure like the suburban rail in Bengaluru or the Bangalore-Mysore expressway, most of these infrastructure issues have gotten solved. The second thing that will go in our favor is the very positive environment created in the state through the hard work of the BJP Karyakartas. BJP, Anand, is not like a seasonal crop, which is like, mango season aa gaya, so we have mango, tarboos season aa gaya, tarboos. So we are not a party that, mushrooms only during elections. The Karyakartas of this party were with the people even during the most difficult times, even during COVID. They are there even now. The third factor that will go in our favor is that this time Karnataka is looking forward for the next 5 years. And people of Karnataka, mark my words, will give 26 to 27 seats to Prime Minister the next elections. So the
That's
people,
a big one.
100%, because we already have 25 plus 1. So it's just, matter of another 2 seats. So people know that 2024, anyway the Prime Minister will come to, Modi will come to, par in the center. The state should not, lag behind over the next 5 years. So I think these are three very important factors that are going to help.
You
the
think
BJP.
you have a convincing state leadership dynamics? Basavaraj Bommai is doing a good job, that's what many say. Others say it's not great. It's the same corruption, irrespective of any party. He's not able to keep the party together. There is too much of caste division, everybody's ambitions. It's not a cohesive unit. All of these come to the fore. Given all of this, are you confident of getting simple majority?
100%. And the reason for this is again the good leadership that our Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai has given. I mentioned about a few legacy issues. All of them were addressed in the most politically dexterous, most politically mature way that only a seasoned veteran political leader of the stature of Bommai could do. The internal reservation was a hot potato.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to touch it. It was like a Pandora's box. But he addressed this issue most deftly, most dexterously. Everybody is happy today. Insofar as his allegations of corruption is concerned, this whole 40% Sarkara jibe that the Congress keeps leveling against us. Who is leveling this? The Congress, whose sitting state president is out on bail on corruption charges, whose former 2 national presidents, both Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, are out on corruption charge or on bail on corruption charges. When Siddaramaiah was the chief minister, he very meticulously, deliberately dismantled the Lokayukta, and in its place he brought a puppet called the ACB. The High Court of Karnataka unceremoniously declared it as unconstitutional. Whereas in our tenure, the Lokayukta is strengthened. Most of the cases, including the case of a BJP MLA who was caught red-handed and prosecuted, was done by our own Lokayukta government. So my only challenge, this is a challenge that the BJP has been giving to the Congress for the last 2 years, that instead of making these hit-and-run allegations in press conferences, if you have even shred of evidence, why don't you go to the courts? Why don't you go to the Lokayukta? Why don't you file a PCR? Why don't you go to the High Court? Why don't you approach the CAG?
My final question to you, when people call you names or when people, why do they have this penchant for abusing Prime Minister Narendra Modi? We saw Mallikarjun Kharge ji, the Congress president, use the kind of language that he did and then he said, I take back my words, I apologize. So why would somebody as senior as Mallikarjun Kharge go back and do the same thing that has never paid dividends to the Congress party from 2005 onwards?
The ground beneath them is slipping. Even in Mallikarjun Khargeji's home constituency of Gulbarga, just 1 month ago, the BJP formed the corporation, and the first time we elected a BJP mayor there. But this didn't make national headlines. It should have ideally made national headlines because the home constituency of the AICC president, the corporation went to BJP. So the frustration, the desperation, and knowing very well that the people are not, buying their, the decade-old, tried, tested Jumla politics is what is pushing them to make these kind of statements. You may have seen just 2 days ago, there was a small clipping of Chief Minister Bommai and Siddaramaiah bumping into each other at the Belgaum airport. It was widely shared in Karnataka as a sign of bonhomie, as a sign of gentlemanly politics. This tradition is what Mallikarjun Khargeji has broken by very viciously, disgracefully, disgustingly, personally attacking the Prime Minister, who is the most respected and loved political figure of Karnataka. You have seen in 2014 and 2019 that even in those seats where the Congress is traditionally strong, people have overwhelmingly voted for the BJP and for the Prime Minister. Very distasteful, demeaning remarks against the Prime Minister by the Congress President will be the last nail in the coffin, the Congress coffin on the 10th of May.
Well, who they punish, who they reward, it's up to the Janta, and we'll know, like he's saying, on the 13th. 10th is the voting, 13th is the result. On that day, with the promise that we should connect again.
Absolutely, Anand, 100%.
So, one last sip of this Baitu coffee with a cheers. And we wind up this fantastic conversation.
Thank you so much, Anand.
Fantastic as ever.
And have a good stay in Bengaluru.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.